Pixar is probably one of the most recognizable animation studios out there. I think a majority of their films are well received. I couldn't really think of 3 that weren't. I've always liked Pixar. I've watched nearly all of their movies, and the only one I didn't like was The Good Dinosaur. I'm pretty sure that's when I realized that movies can in fact be bad. But even though I like Pixar, I wasn't really too interested in Inside Out 2 when it was first announced. I remember liking the first one, but for some reason I just didn't care about this one. I was too busy caring about Despicable Me 4. But then the movie came out and everyone was talking about how good it was, so I decided that I might as well watch it, because why not? Also, people kept recording parts of the movie and posting it on YouTube, and I kept getting those videos in my recommended. So if I waited any longer to watch the movie, I probably would have gotten the whole thing spoiled for me. If that happens for Despicable Me 4, I will lose it. Anyways, this was definitely a good idea, because not only did I enjoy the movie, but I also got to make a video about it, and I also had to delay my original plan of making a Boss Baby video to sometime in the future, because I simply was not ready to watch the Boss Baby.
Are you the baby Jesus?
This video will have minor, non-story related spoilers later on, but if you don't want to hear them, I'll say when I'm going to start talking about spoiler stuff. To quickly talk about the basic plot of the movie, in Inside Out 2, brand new emotions show up to the headquarters, those being anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and ennui. However, anxiety decides that Riley doesn't need the old emotions anymore, those being joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and of course the best one, anger.
Hands off the McNuggets! They're mine!
Anyways, anxiety kicks all of the old emotions out of headquarters and gets rid of Riley's sense of self, so now all the old emotions are trying to find it, while anxiety does dictator stuff and tries to change Riley. Meanwhile, Riley's at hockey camp trying to be friends with the Firehawks and join their team or whatever. I didn't really care for all the hockey stuff, but that's probably because I don't care about hockey or any sport at all. That being said, I did enjoy the stuff outside of Riley's brain. I didn't focus too much on hockey. Riley's parents aren't in this movie much, which I don't really care about. I don't even know their names, but I bring it up because I needed to point out that Riley's mom looks like Margot from Despicable Me, and they conflicted on the new characters because I really like anxiety and envy, but ennui and embarrassment are kind of lame. I did like the interactions embarrassment had with one of the other emotions, but other than that, I don't really care about them. I don't think envy is even important in the plot. I can't remember anything she did for it, but I still think she's a good character. I saw 2 reviews for this movie, and reviewers both said that they did not like envy that much. I'm not one to say that someone's opinion is wrong, but
Hands off the McNuggets! They're mine!
speaking of anger, him discussing fear are actually part of the A plot, unlike in the last movie where they were part of the B plot. I like this because it means more McNuggets guy. Anger, disgust, and fear don't really do much though. Anger spends the entire movie being angry, except when he's not. Disgust insults broccoli, which is not cool. And fear talks about how great anxiety is in every other season. The movie very easily could have been a retread of the first one in terms of Joy's character arc, with her starting the movie being upset that the new emotion is ruining everything, but ending it learning that new emotion is actually important. But her character arc is actually different in this movie, so that's good. Not just the first one again. I think the movie looks really good as well. I like the underground where all of Riley's beliefs are, and the visual of anxiety on a TV screen is very good. It's right up there with the scene in Despicable Me where Vector has a shrink ray in terms of being the coolest scenes in all of cinema. Fear and Disgust original voice actors didn't return to this movie because the studio owned by a multi-billion-dollar company simply couldn't give them enough money, but the new voice actors did a good job. I barely even noticed a change, but that's probably because the last time I watched Inside Out was like 3 years ago. The movie's pretty funny as well, and it's mostly because of anger. Another character I can't really talk about without getting into some spoilers. The movie's pretty fast paced, especially in the beginning. In the first 5 minutes, your emotions are reintroduced, Riley plays a hockey game, it's explained that Riley is a teenager now, and her beliefs and sense of self are established. I don't really mind the fast pace though, I actually like it. It's done a lot better than the Mario movie. I can't really say anything about it without getting into spoiler territory, but I thought the ending of the movie was really good. Definitely one of its best scenes. If you want to know some more epic Inside Out lore, and stick around after the credits, there's an end credit scene because Marvel did that, and they were making $1 billion until they weren't. When the puberty alarm began ringing at the start of the movie, it genuinely scared me. I'm not sure who thought it was a good idea to put a Freddy Fazbear jump scare in Inside Out 2, but they did, and they managed to make it scarier than anything in Security Breach, so good job, I guess. I wonder how many people are confused when I make my obligatory Despicable Me and FNAF references in videos that have absolutely nothing to do with those two things. Okay, I'm gonna talk about some minor spoilers now. I'm not gonna spoil important parts of the story or anything, but I will still be spoiling some stuff, so if you don't want to be spoiled about anything, now's a good time to click off the video. Okay, great, so now that everyone doesn't want to be spoiled is gone, I can talk about Pouchy. Judging by the amount of dynamite in his mouth, there's a high chance that Pouchy has killed at least one person, but you know what? I don't really care, he's still cool. I like the pink cartoon guy that taught everyone how to summon Pouchy. He's a parody of things like Dora the Explorer and the Miska Muska show. He was pretty funny, I wish he was in the movie more. We got to see inside of the minds of some of Riley's friends, and like her parents, the emotion mimics the way that they look, which is weird because Riley's emotions don't mimic how she looks, but also,
I don't actually care.
For those wondering, there is an explanation as to why the new emotions weren't in the parents' head in the first movie. They were just kind of hiding in the back, which sounds like a pretty lazy way of explaining why anxiety and the gang were in the first movie, but there really wasn't any other way to explain this. Bing Bong's not in this movie on account of being dead, but Joy does have a Bing Bong toy above her bed, which is so cool too. During the part where Joy was sad, somebody in my theater whispered womp womp. It's funny, I wish I was part of the movie. In conclusion, I liked Inside Out too. I think the first one is still better, but this one definitely did some stuff better than that one. Pouchy was in it, you know, he was better than Bing Bong. I did not care for the Bing Bong death, but if Pouchy died, I'd still be crying. I don't really want Inside Out 3 though, unless it's like a major time skip to when Riley's old or something. I think 2 movies are enough, and rather Pixar just do some shorts like Forky Asked the Question, which is the best show on Disney Plus, and the only reason anyone should have it.
You know what? You taught me something. What? No. I think I now know what a friend is. Someone you can just sit with and say absolutely nothing and still have the best time. I love you.
But there's definitely going to be a third one because just look at the box office numbers for this movie. That being said, I hope to make a Pouchy spinoff because, you know, he's the best character in the movie.
Hands off the McNuggets! They're mine!
Okay, second best character. All jokes aside, I hope Pixar doesn't see the success of this movie and decide that they should mostly make sequels from now on. But Pixar is owned by Disney and Bobby wants a new mansion, so there's definitely gonna be a lot more sequels. Now, if you excuse me, I've gotta go try to convince Pixar to give Pouchy his own movie or show. Bye, I guess.